In this video, we'll see how you can make use of resources to pull text and definitions out of your layout files and into a centralized location within the resource folder. This centralized location is the Values subfolder. When you create a project via the wizard, it already contains one file named strings.xml, and if you double-click on it, you see that there are two string resources defined. Have a look at this one. It is named hello. You can see here. And this string resource, the name hello, has the value hello world main. We've used this string in our main activity in this text field. I click on it, scroll down to the property text, right here, and here we find the reference to the string resource hello. Now take a look at the button here. As you can see, this is in an included layout. I'll open this, navbar.xml. Let's switch to the Android 2.3.3 view. Click this button, and then you see that the text of this button is defined directly within this XML file. If all your texts were defined within your layouts, the text in your application would be scattered across all those layout files. Thankfully, it's pretty simple to turn this explicit text, here in the text property, into a string resource. I click on it, I copy the text to the clipboard via Ctrl+C or Command+C on Mac, or via right-click and copy. Then I click on this ellipsis button, and then I can choose a string resource. But I can also create a new string. I click on this button, and this is in fact a shortcut to something we find here, create Android XML, in a way that it already has selected the resource file and will enter a new value. It already suggests how it would look in Java. So in this case, I'll just call it btn_sensors. And I paste the text from the clipboard into this field, Ctrl+V or Command+V on Mac. And for now, I'm done. What you see here, the possibility to restrict this text to, for example, a specific language. But in this case, it's our default text, and I leave it like that. Click on OK. Select btn sensors, click OK, and now it's replaced by a string resource. Let's repeat the same with the staff text. Copy the clipboard, click on ellipsis button, new string, paste text, and call it btn_staff. Click OK, OK again, and it's replaced. Pretty simple, isn't it? Click on new string, paste the value, call it btn_starlog. Click OK again. And now you've pulled the content of the labels of these buttons from the strings resource file. Let's have a look at it. Here you can see ADT has automatically entered those string items into the resource file. Let's have a look at the XML, like this. But that's not all. Take a look at the main XML again. Here you can see that, for example, these orange bars have the same height, 16 density independent pixels, as well as this view, these buttons, and this view all have the same width. So let's go ahead and create some resources for these dimensions. I click on this icon for the Android XML wizard, enter dimens.xml, click on values, and finish. This will create the file dimens.xml, and click on add, select dimension. Okay, let's think of a name that makes sense. I call it HFlat. The value will be 16 dip. We'll save this. I'll add another value, again dimension. Call this value normal width, and enter 96 dip. Close the dimension declaration file. And now I can go to this layout property. Alternatively, if you don't want to use this panel, you can right-click on this view, select layout height, other, and now enter the same value which you would have entered here, which is @dimen/HeightFlat. Click on OK. As you see, everything remains the same. I take this value and copy it, Ctrl+C or Command+C on the Mac, click on this view, and replace this value with a reference to the resource. like this. I'll leave it as an exercise for you to replace the width values for these elements. But there's yet another property which is the same across multiple files. That's the background color of this element. For colors, we can create another values file. Right-click on Values, select New, Android XML file, call it colors.xml, click on Finish, click on Add, select Color, click on OK, find a name, for example orange, and the appropriate value, #F90. Control Save or Command Save on Mac saves the file. And now I can replace this declaration, add the property background, the newly created color value. I click on this ellipsis button again, and now I can see color, which now appears because I have created this colors.xml. Click on this triangle, select orange, click on OK, and now it's replaced. Now you've seen how you can centralize definitions of strings, dimensions, and colors. As a final exercise, you may skim across the file to look for other values to replace, for example, text sizes. And if you're anything like me, you'll like the tidiness of that approach.